All right, if you are enjoying the show, I hope you are, because I certainly am, meeting our new friends Daniel and Ahtoy. And we've got one more video clip that we want to play for you now, and I know we're going to go ahead and cue that up and we're going to talk over it. So if we can go ahead and play that, guys. It looks like a performance. I'm looking at this right now, and it seems to be very, very structured. Now, is this also in New York City?
Oh, this is a fun one. This is actually on a cruise ship.
Okay.
It was an all-star salsa cruise that went to Key West and also to Cozumel in Mexico. And the boat was rocking this particular night, and we were very terrified being on stage because we could barely walk on the ship. And so to do all these complicated movements while the boat is rocking back and forth, it was quite an accomplishment, and we're very happy we got through it.
The interesting part actually was that the MC was saying before the performance went out that you could barely walk on stage, and people in the audience felt it, because even sitting down you felt how you were getting nauseous and you could barely stay straight. So when we first walked onto the stage, we could barely stand up. So it was quite interesting, because on some of these turns, you will see, or at least we felt, that we moved with the boat all the way to the other end of the stage and somehow had to try to hold on and get back. So it was an added layer of complexity to our performance.
Well, it's interesting to ask this, but this is a very rudimentary question. How do you keep from getting dizzy right now, as we're watching this and everything? You're doing all these complex spins. Ahtoy, how do you not lose your balance?
You know what? Spinning is the topic of the times right now. It's such a great skill to learn. You write down what I'm doing there. I keep my focus on Daniel no matter what. So I let my body rotate around, but I try to keep my eyes on him wherever I go. So I go round and round, he stays in one spot, and then somehow I get back to the same place over and over. And it works out. Hold on tight. That's what I like to think.
Exactly.
And it's actually something that, it's a lot of fun. When you first learn it, you feel like a kid. You're just turning around and you get dizzy, like you play airplane, plane, and just turn around and enjoy it. But then after a while, you stop getting dizzy, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, this is strange. This is a totally new experience. So everyone that dances has had that experience, but if you just keep at it and just try it again and again, at some point with the right technique, you'll master it. Okay, is there a certain muscle group that maybe you guys have to go to the gym and work on? Because we've talked about, obviously, the musculature in your the lower parts of your legs has to be very fine-tuned if you're going to be standing on tippy-toe the whole time and everything. But are there certain exercise regimens that you have to do?
You don't have to at all. Actually, salsa is designed for the normal person. So I like to think of it as stylized walking. This is what I tell my students all the time, so no one should ever be discouraged from learning. You're just going to walk back and forth with a particular style. But we are very disciplined, so we do go to the gym and train a lot, Pilates, ballet. We do a lot of work with our bodies.
I think, as going back to that story with this Cuban bar, on the one hand, you can just get up and dance, and you have the same kind of fun. You will lose yourself in the music, and really, you can use it as a venting mechanism. There's no training necessary, anything at all. But I used to also play professional tennis, and we had a lot of workouts every day, different kind of workouts, cardio, versus muscle growth, and so on. And so there are, as Ahtoy said, we're very disciplined, so we train the different parts of our body, the cardio aspects of it, as well as strengthening certain muscle groups. But that is the two sides of it. So if you want to be a perfectionist, salsa really brings out the character and your personality, but at the same time, it's a lifelong learning experience, because there's so much technical aspects to it. And basically, it's, as I said earlier, like jazz, improvisational components, like in music, in this dance, have no limits. So you can use your body as an instrument and just play it until the end of your life. And it doesn't matter. We see a lot of people in New York that are 70, 80, 90 years old, and they look awesome on the dance floor. It really doesn't matter. And we also see 2 or 3-year-old children and babies that Ahtoy has taught, and they enjoy it just the same. Okay, well, our time together is running out, unfortunately, but I wanted to know just one thing as another trivial fact about your style of dance. Controlling your breathing, I've read that, especially with your style of dance and with salsa especially, if you're going to look so graceful, again, it comes back to appearance and delivery. How do you control your breathing when you're doing all these complex routines?
Well, I actually come up with a scheme that I can remember. Actually, we do together. For choreographies, there are certain moves where we say, okay, this is where we're going to keep the energy up, and this is the part where we're both going to take a breath out. And then for social dancing, when we're just making things up, whenever there's a high energy move, I try to breathe in, and then whenever there's some downtime, I breathe out. And it's really fun. This particular style that we dance is New York style, and the structure of it allows for high energy in the beginning of the bar, of the musical bar that you're dancing to, and then a breath out at the end. And I think it makes a lot of sense that way.
The music is really like a wave. So you always have this this power moment, and then it relaxes, and then you have a power moment, and it relaxes. So for the choreography, as Ahtoy said, we have little pieces of it. These 30 seconds, it's really intense, and you got to be very tight. And then the next 10 seconds or so, you relax for a bar or two. But socially, it's really like a wave. So it's like as if you're surfing or swimming. You go with there's moments where you really have to tighten up and control your body, and then the next one you can just relax and let go. And the structure of the music allows that.
Okay, well, tell you what, stay tuned to KRIM News Extra. We're going to take a look at a schedule and see some events coming up right now. But stay tuned because our program continues, and we will wrap up this episode when we come back.